Yeah, great baseball game. It really was. A lot of good pitching. Obviously, the timely hits, which we have been struggling to get, was the difference in the ball game today. But as we talked about when the series started, I think got a ton of respect for the Orioles. It's a really good offensive team, and you look at what our pitching staff did against them in this entire series. Just unbelievable, like really good. That's in my opinion, that's probably the best top to bottom offensive team in the league this year, and we. Our bullpen only gave up 1 run all series. That was the late homer there. The starters kept us in the game. And, we talk about often here how we do it, winning late. It's the timely hit. You create traffic, put some pressure on them, and we're able to bust through. Heck of a job by our group, grinding through it. And hopefully we can build off this. And nobody's more excited than number 44. That's an awesome game by Julio. So I'll take any questions.
Scott, it just looked like there was a release of joy. You guys have been grinding so hard, and these games have been tense. But kind of fun was back a little bit in the dugout there when he got the bomb and they were celebrating it, and everything else seemed like it just an exhale for everyone.
Yeah, no doubt. Obviously, there's a lot of pressure on guys at this time, and certainly Julio, he wears a lot of it internally, and trying to just get him to play free, and it's hard. It's hard when you're young and the expectations aren't as high as they are. But I got a ton of respect, just grinding through it. And today he played as free as he can. He just went out there and competed his tail off and got great results. It doesn't always get the results you're looking for, but if you continue to do that day in, day out, good things will happen. Huge hits. I think the double he hit may have been the hardest ball he's hit all year. That was crazy. And then we had the right guy up at the plate at the end. JP with the bases loaded, works himself into a really good count. No panic, totally under control, and put a great swing on the ball. So, again, it's... like I said, they have a really good team, and it is a grind, every day. And we got another series coming up here with Toronto, and need to get back going here with our offense. So hopefully today kind of opens the floodgates a little bit. Guys can take a deep breath and get back to being who we are.
It's got the swings from Julio on the homer and the double. They were probably the most controlled we've seen. Like, we watched the replays, it didn't even look like he was swinging that hard. He just swung like normal.
Yeah, the home run, it's an 0-2 pitch. He's just trying to get the ball in play. That's how talented he is, just getting the barrel there, and then the ball jumps off the bat the way it does. So he really competed well today. I can't say enough about it, and it hasn't been easy for him. We've all seen this guy get hot, and when he gets hot, it is uncontrollable. He's as talented as anybody in the game. As young as he is, hopefully he can build on this and carry it into this next series.
It feels like we've asked this a lot over the last 2 years especially, but why is JP so good in those situations?
I think he understands the situation. It's something that Ryan Bliss is going to continue to learn, right? Understanding where you're at. And in my opinion, what JP does is he puts the pressure on the guy on the mound. He doesn't put it on himself. And you can see that he has a great idea of the strike zone. So he's not going to chase in those situations too often. And when he lets the game come to him, that's when it really works for him. And it takes a while to get there. Young players, understanding where you're at in the game, but the pressure is on the pitcher when the bases are loaded. And he does a great job of controlling his emotions in those spots.
With Burns going today, how important was it for Bryce to keep that game close?
Very important. Bryce it wasn't easy. He gave up 8 hits today. There was traffic out there. There was some balls hit hard, but he kept grinding away. He threw a ton of off-speed pitches, which is not really his strength, but it's getting better. And being able to mix those pitches in. I thought the one inning, it was first and second, nobody on, and he was able to get through it. I think it was the 5th. Huge inning. I mean, the game get away from us right there. At the point, I think we were already down 2-0. So being able to keep things in check and mixing in all his pitches. You just can't go hard, certainly against a team like that, because they can square up the fastball. He had to slow it down, and that's exactly what he did.
What do you wanted to see a lot of the secondaries today? To see him work through that, even though when it's not the easiest thing and you've got that offense on the other side, how important is that to have any young pitcher that is in your rotation?
It's huge. You have to be able to slow them down by throwing the secondary pitches. If you're just going to sit out there and pump heaters, they're not going to miss it. They really aren't. They're that good. And they're on the fastball timing, so you've got to slow them down a little bit to get your fastball to play up. And that's what he did. It's not easy. Bryce has, there'll be 10, 12 pitches where he'll just lose the feel for his secondary pitches, but he stayed with it today, which is a credit to Cal as well, understanding that's the only way we're going to win this game. We have to stay with the plan, even though it may not be all that sexy or pretty at that moment. You stick with it, and hopefully it pays off, and it did today.
On Julio, I mean, it's hard to show a ton of emotion and joy when things aren't going good, but we saw so much of it from him today. How much does like playing with that edge, I guess, help him and kind of propel him to play free the way you talked about?
Yeah, I think, you get to the point in the season, I mentioned it the other night, where you just say, screw it. I'm done listening to too many people, or what do I need to do, or whatever. You just turn out and try to drown out all the noise and just focus on being who he is. And he's a really good baseball player, super talented, of course, and that's hard. It's easier said than done. I don't know about you guys, but 23 years old, I didn't have those expectations on me. We ask a lot of him, and I just want him to be him. Don't have to carry the team. It's okay to show emotion. It's okay to get pissed off when you don't have a good game and things like that. That's normal. And hopefully today will lighten things up for him a little bit, and we'll see where it takes him. Because if he gets in a good spot, watch out. He can make some people pay for a while.
How's the jog out to center? I mean, he hits the homer, then you see him grabbing his hand, and then you got to jog all the way out to center and jog back.
I thought I wasn't even breathing hard, Ryan. I'm in good shape, bro. I would go by the umpire. He said, "Man, that's a long jog," and I'm running back in, and the other umpire says, "Man, you made it the whole way." I'm like, "Come on, guys."
probably not why you wanted to jog out.
No. Obviously, when he doesn't bounce up right away after catching that ball in the sun, you are concerned. He landed on his thumb, really kind of funky, and he was concerned about it, rightly so, but. Once he got in, had a bat in his hand, he said, "No, I'm good to go. I'm fine." And then adrenaline helps. It's a beautiful thing. So we'll see how he is coming in tomorrow. I expect he'll be healthy and he'll want to be in the lineup because once you start going good and squaring the ball up, like I said, he's got some payback and he wants to take care of some things here. So hopefully he keeps it going.
Speaking of that defensive play, several defensive plays that were really stand out today, maybe none more so than that first leadoff.
Oh, huge play.
Henderson trying to stretch the double into a triple. But what kind of a tone does that set?
Huge play in the game. We get down in that game, the leadoff, I think Gunnar Henderson maybe the MVP of the league when it's all said and done. He's that talented and hits a ball in the gap, and he's going for three just like we would out of the box. We hit the cutoff man, Ryan Bliss, a couple outstanding defensive plays. Even the play to end the game. That's not easy to get to and flip that ball there. Again, Henderson in the middle of it. Those plays are huge. Every out against a team like that is so big, and it just helps get the starting pitcher deeper into the game. But big play. We executed it. The fundamental things that you have to do to win tight games against good teams, we did it today. And that's why we came up on the right side of things.
All right. Approach when those opportunities for the timer hits.
Yeah, we were locked in it. We finally got the big hits with runners in scoring position, and especially late in the game is pretty big.
What was it like to just watch Julio show kind of that emotional edge that we've seen in the past, but not as much this year?
Yeah, it was contagious. It got me going for sure. I think it got the whole team going. Fired everyone up a little bit, and it's like, okay, yeah, we're back in this. Let's go. We're all in.
Does it kind of show what this lineup can be when he's clicking and kind of spread it contagiously the way you just said?
Yeah, for sure. I think everyone feeds off of a big hit and keeping the line moving, and just when opportunities come, don't try to do too much, and trust that the guy behind you is going to get the job done as well.
Tippy, we've asked you a million times about your approach with bases loaded, but how would you describe it? Somebody says, "Why do you have his success with bases loaded?"
I don't know. All I tell myself is I'm going to get the damn job done, and, that's all I'm thinking going up to the plate. That's all I'm thinking about in the box, not thinking about anything else. Just get a pitch and don't miss.
Skip said that you flip it when you get in that situation. You don't feel like the pressure's on you, but you feel like the pressure's on the pitcher. He's the one who has to execute. When did you develop that mindset?
Honestly, couldn't even tell you. It's always been just the mindset of just get the job done. That's really it. And, stick to that, just knowing that you're going to get the job done every time. That's all I think about.
We've seen you kind of react a couple of times to some strikeouts lately. You've been pretty frustrated. Even today when you got the hit, you raised your hands up. I mean, what's the grind been like for you? I know that your numbers aren't where you want. You have a higher expectation. I mean, the whole team has been scuffling, but you yourself, we've seen you react differently than maybe in the past. What's that been like?
Oh, it was so relieving, hitting the ball hard and just diving plays, catching them at the warning track. It's going to happen, and you just got to tell yourself that, you're going to get them, you're going to get them. Don't get down on yourself, or just don't let anyone else see you getting down on yourself either. Just keep working hard and knowing that, it's going to come.
Sage help?
Definitely helped me. I don't know about everyone else, but, yeah, definitely helped. Just took a day late, but it came.
Slow acting.
Yeah, some bad sage.
Time release.
Thanks, Servais.
Bryce, knowing the way that they can hit the ball and that they've got Corbin Bryce going, just how important was it for you to go out there and keep the game close to let the offense kind of go to work?
Yeah, Corbin's, he's going to be great every time. So I was trying to keep it close and keep us in the game and give the offense a chance. And I think I threw pretty well today. Just they got their leadoff guy's pretty good. So yeah.
How do you approach a guy like that?
First at bat doesn't help falling 3-0, so probably shouldn't do that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, that wasn't my best pitch, but typically a slider up and in doesn't go over the fence oppo. So no, I mean, hats off to him. He's good.
I mean, speaking of the slider, it looked like you got into the secondaries a ton today. I mean, it seemed like that was part of the plan of attack. Just how well did you feel like you guys were able to execute that and stick with it too?
Yeah, I think I was able to get the sweeper over for strikes, and I felt pretty good with the splitter as well. So going off of how the first inning of the last time I faced him was, I knew I was going to have to get into the off speed and try to keep him off balance, and so I was able to do that, and the splitter played pretty well today. So yeah, I mean, I left a couple up, 2-strike splitter to Westberg, up and in, but overall I felt pretty good with all the off speed.
Bryce, how much of a grind is it though, just maneuvering through that much traffic on the bases? It seemed like you're out of the stretch forever, and just you're pitching with runners on all the time. How much of a grind is it mentally and physically to do that?
Yeah, it's not ideal. It kind of felt like the back half of the game, it was a lot of, they started swinging early, and then I get a weak contact, base hit, and then, then I got to go straight to the stretch. But, it's not ideal. You try to get the leadoff guy out and get on a roll, but they're a good lineup and put the ball in play, and things happen. So I was glad I was able to limit damage after with runners on, and main thing that kind of threw me off was they told me I couldn't flap after I stopped flapping. So I was kind of thinking about that the whole time. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with how we kept runners on and didn't let them get in. So besides the home run.
Did they say that was you were balking, or that you were trying to deceive the?
It's just I've done it all year. Today was an issue, but just I flap when I get my grip, and I guess I got to stop flapping and not flap again. So I don't know.
Is that what they were talking to you about after the first inning?
Yeah, after the first, and then I had to color in my sleeves, so I did some doodling between innings. But the Adidas logo was white, same sleeves I've worn every game, but just colored them in.
Little Sharpie.
Yeah, I went black and blue.
What does it feel like just to be able to get an exhale for this team, to be able to celebrate a little bit, to get some timely hits just in the clubhouse? Just what was that like today to finally get that kind of breakthrough?
Yeah, it's big. We know we've been struggling, obviously, and it's just we're just been waiting for it to happen. It's not going to happen the whole year. We're not going to struggle the whole year. So hopefully it sparks us and gets us moving, and we get on a little hot streak.
Last time you faced this team, they got after you pretty hard right there early, and then you made an adjustment and really got through the back part of that game pretty well. How did that affect your planning with the improvements that you showed today against the same team?
Yeah, I think that's just right out the gate. Last game, they just jumped on me, and I think I had 4 runs on me before I got an out. And obviously, that's not an ideal start. But the rest of that game, I was able to settle in and threw more off speed, and being able to land the off speed and being comfortable in any count with the off speed is big, especially against them. So that was the plan. Try to keep them off balance, don't let them sit on a pitch, and I think we did pretty good with that.
Bryce, pregame, Scott was talking to us about a new off speed you've been tinkering with a little bit. So with that, and then you messing with timing throughout the season, how often are you looking at things to add to your game and just improve as a pitcher?
Yeah, I mean, anytime I can do something to try to get a little better, I try it. I mean, worst case, it doesn't work, but yeah, I threw a couple of them today. The scoreboard or the board still says splitter when I throw it, but I don't know who to talk to about that. But I felt like I threw it pretty good. I think it's something I'm gonna keep throwing, so it's a good pitch. But yeah, if I can do anything to gain an advantage, I mean, I'll do it. Worst case, it doesn't work, and I just go back to what I was doing. So, plus it's fun, messing with stuff.
Was one of those the flyouts to Kierstad in the third? Was that one of the new?
I know Westberg, his third at bat, he flew out on one. I don't remember. I think Kierstad's was a splitter.
How would you describe that new pitch? How's it different from the splitter?
Splitter is usually 10 to 12 horizontals. Ideally, he's going to move arm side. The new one is just straight down, like
Almost
pretty.
like curveball motion.
Yeah, it's similar to Mike's curveball. That's what I'm trying to throw, but his is a little better right now, so I gotta keep working on it.
All right. Yeah, bragging rights over Jordan then or not? Yeah.
It's a good pitch to try to steal.
Yeah, for sure.